In honor of Mental Health Week, City of St. Catharines flying the green flag at City Hall. Let's welcome Mayor Walter Sendzik from St. Catharines. Walter, how is the city recognizing Mental Health Week beyond that flag?
What we've done is beyond flying the flag, it's also shining a light on organizations like Pathstone Children's Mental Health. It is an amazing institution here in Niagara. They're best in class. They're one of the best in Canada. And so what we've been doing this week is sharing their stories on our social media channels, making sure that we're having those discussions and making it comfortable for families to have those discussions. And you got to understand, Mike, that there's a lot of families that are isolating together as a family in a house. And so there comes that stress, there comes that anxiety, there comes that new sort of way of being that they're not used to. Children have lost contacts sort of physically with their friends, so they can still connect on digital media, but they've lost that ability to connect with their friends, that school environment. So, organizations like Pathstone or Children's Helpline, they all become vital sort of conduits for families and kids to reach out in situations where they may need it. And as I said, as when we raised the flag, we did a virtual flag raising, is that no issue is too small. So making sure you're talking to your kids and making sure that you're trying to draw out of them more than just, how are you doing? I'm fine. When you hear that sort of reply from a teenager, what I'm asking folks to do is, and this comes from Sean Bayless, the CEO of Pathstone, is have more questions ready, because it's not about being fine. There's underlying things that the children may be thinking about. You really got to have those discussions. So hopefully this week it's an opportunity to shine a light on that.
Walt, with some of the restrictions being eased off by the province beginning this past Monday, looking forward, soccer clubs and other sporting organizations trying to plan for the summer, still no real idea when they're going to be able to get back onto the outdoor fields, when larger groups will be in order. So what does that mean for organizations like the soccer clubs and others?
That's one of the biggest questions that remain unanswered. And I've got a daughter who's an exceptional soccer player, and we don't know if she's going to play soccer this year. And she's been playing travel soccer for the better part of the last 10 years. And so it's hard, Mike, because as parents, we've got kids who are either playing recreation sport or travel sport, and there's no answers yet. And so even as a city, we don't have those answers, because we have to take our directions, and we should take our directions from public health, both here at the region, but also at the province. And so these are all those smaller details when we talk about the opening of the economy. These are all the smaller details that may be small in a sort of grander scheme or grander level, but to families and to sports organizations, they're vitally important. So we're working to get those answers, but I don't see here's what I'll say: I don't see a horizon yet, and that's concerning for me.
You can tie that back into children's mental health, because certainly being physically active helps mental health.
Well, that's it. And so, our messaging is, you're starting to see our messaging around stay home, stay safe. It's also make sure you're getting your physical activities. So make sure you're going for your walks. Make sure you're going for a bike ride. Make sure you're going to, walking through the park. And when you're starting to read some of the literature, Mike, on this, in terms of the need to get out and get that physical exercise is also a part of mental health. So however way you can do it, find ways to do it, and do it as a family, and make sure that your kids are getting outside as well. And so that's you're going to start seeing our messaging shift as the province eases some of its restrictions. We're going to be providing directions about how people can use our parks. So we're going to shift from being able just to walk through our parks to, if you're going to be in the park, here's the regulations you've got to follow, or here's the guidelines we'd like you to follow. So we're working on that right now, but it's vitally important for families to ensure that their kids get physical activity on a daily basis.
One last question quickly. Last time we spoke, Market Square, you were looking at ways that you would be able to open it up in the near future.
Yeah.
Any closer to that?
Yeah, it should be. I don't want to peg a date on it, but it should be in a couple weeks. You are starting to see produce come in from the farms, and we know that it's a necessity to get the market open. And so my last update from the St. Catharines team is that they've got the vendors, they've got the St. Catharines staff, they've got the sort of footprint being all designed, and it's only a matter of weeks now. So that's going to be a good news story, because it's going to signal to our community that here's an opportunity for you to get the necessities of the basics of food, in addition to supporting the farms that are very vitally important that are around us.
Well, we like good news stories here on The Source. Thanks for joining us today, Walt.
Keep doing a great job. I appreciate it.